Hey everybody, a few weeks ago I did a design concept using frames in Adobe Photoshop, and I designed a film strip at the request of one of these subscribers. After I did that, I started getting emails that, hey, would you consider selling that as a template format on buymeacoffee.com? And I never thought about doing that, but I thought, well, yeah, let's do that. But I think I'll do one better. In fact, you know what? I take that back. I'm going to do two better. So I created a total of 3 different templates. One that looks like this, the original one, but I did modify it a little bit. Then this is the second one right here. And this is the third one right here. And so I decided to bundle all 3 for the price of one. Yeah, I know, call me crazy, but that's what I did. Are we ready? Let's take a look at this. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist pushing ourselves out of the box creatively. All right, this is as a request to some of the subscribers of this channel. A few weeks ago when I did do a template design in Photoshop with a custom film strip that somebody else had requested because they were trying to figure out how to do it. And then all of a sudden I started getting some modifications and updates on this. And then I had a few emails that came to me privately. By the way, my email address is right here at the bottom of the screen, stephenphotoartist@gmail.com. If you'd like to email me privately, feel free to do that. But some were asking, hey, would you consider selling that as a template format so we could use it? And I said, well, yeah, I never thought about doing it. So I just decided, you know what? I'm going to create 2 other ones. So I'm going to bundle all 3 together as one, put it on buymeacoffee.com for the same price as if you're buying one. Now let's talk about why I did that and why am I charging so little for this? Well, number one, most of you, this is just a hobby. And instead of, maybe donating a coffee or 3 coffees, which is like $9 for 3 coffees, this is like $7 and you're going to get 3 templates. It's just a way of supporting the channel, but you're getting something back that you can use. Well, what would I use these templates for? Well, in my opinion, 3 different areas. Number one, it's great for social media to showcase your work in a different way before you go into, say, the normal standalone images. Number 2, some people like to put together a video slideshow, and this would be a great starting video, or I should say a starting first slide in your series of pictures you're going to show from a body of work in that video slideshow, sync the music, that kind of thing. So that would be good. And the other thing is, if you're going to do a private book that's just for yourself, a tabletop book, this would be an awesome cover for that tabletop book that you're going to have printed out. So there's different reasons why you might do and use these templates. So let's dive in and take a look at what you actually get. All right, let's do it. All right, before I open up in Photoshop the 3 templates and show you how it was put together in design and how to work in them, and one of them I'm going to show you a gotcha that some people might fall into, a little bit of a trap. I got to make sure that you understand, well, what am I getting at buymeacoffee.com, and again, /StephenPhotoArtist. But where do I find that? So first of all, let's talk about what do I get. So right here, when you go to buymeacoffee.com, and again, I'll show you that on the website in a minute, you're going to download this zip file. And what you're going to do when you download it, you're going to right mouse click. Now, before you do that, depending on what operating system you're using, on Windows, when you download it, by default, it goes to your download folder. On a Mac, it's very similar, but you can control, if you know your operating system, you can control where you're going to download that zip file. My point is, when you find the zip file after you download it, you just do a right mouse click on it. Same concept on a Mac computer, and you'll find something called Extract All. And when you choose that, it will extract all the files and folders. And this is what you're going to get. Number 1 is a folder called Sample Images. Now, you want to use your own images, but this just gives you a jump start to practice using the templates. So that's why I supplied those for you right there. And then number 2, there is this folder called Training Videos. I recommend, again, the very first one you watch is Watch Me First video. That'll give you some foundational things first before you go into the next video, which is the one based on the film slide template, and then there's the film strip, and then there's the Polaroid one right there. So those are the 3 individual training videos, one for each of the templates right there. The other thing that you'll be getting is obviously the 3 templates. And I explained what a template file is in the training videos. I'm not going to repeat that for the people that have been watching this channel already know that. But if you're new to the channel, I'll explain that in the training videos right there. So that's what you're going to get. Now let's go to the website really quick. I'll show you where you find it. And then let's get into Photoshop and start dissecting these templates. Okay, that's all you have to do is go to your browser and put in buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. It's right here on the screen, but it's also in the show notes. And when you come to the website, this is the home page, and this is where people have been contributing. Let me come down here to support the channel for $3 for a coffee. Some are doing $3, $5, and $10. So thank you very much for the ones that have been doing that. But at the very top, you'll see an extra tab. So if you go to the extra tab, click on that, you're going to see a series of different templates. And to understand what they're about, we want to know about this one because this is what we're talking about today. And that is, this is the 3 custom film frame templates. Just click on this and it opens up this interface. There is a promo video right here. If you click on the link, I'm not going to open that up, but it opens up a 4-minute video explaining the templates and what you will be receiving. If you like that, you just click on add to cart, walks you through with the payment, and then it'll walk you through downloading the zip file. And then I showed you what you would do in this video. Okay, so thank you for the ones that are going to be supporting the channel on this. And let's take a look at the 3 templates in Photoshop right now. All right, so right here in Photoshop, if you take a look, I've got the 3 templates open up. There's the first one, this is the second one, and that's the third one right there. Now, to save time, I'm not going to go through inserting all these images. I left these 2 blanks just to show you the concept, but let's dissect this as a starting point. I want to emphasize that these templates are a foundation starting point, which means go in there and totally customize it. So I'll give you an example. This is optional right here. I put text in there because maybe this is going to be a cover of a book. You want to add a title in there, even on social media, whatever. But if you don't want that, you could turn that off. You do a different font. You may not even have that font. I don't know. I just stuck something in there. But the point is, if I come down here to backgrounds as an example, I gave you 2 backgrounds. This is your default one. You can turn this one off and you can use this one right here. Think about using your own though. If you have an image you prefer to use as a background image, put that in there. Make this as a starting point, but personalize it based on your needs. But I gave you these 2, and so that's optional right there, whichever one you want to use. And there's a folder called optional. If I expand this, if I activate the first thing, this puts a little tint there. It's a warming filter. You can change that if you want, change the opacity of that. I'm going to turn that off. I put in an adjustment layer for black and white. So if you want to make that a black and white, and again, you can go over here to make your adjustments. And again, your photos would be showcased in color so they really stand out. Or maybe you want to adjust some brightness and contrast of the background. I added this right there. So these are, again, totally optional. I put that into the template for you. All right, so let's close out of this and let's take a look at images and what I just did here. If I select this and I do a double click and I open this up, you're going to see these are the 4 frames right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this frame right here. And I talk about this in the training video, and that is to go to your contextual taskbar, which I have anchored at the very top. So I talk about how to do that in the training videos. I'm just going to choose import the image, navigate, go find the image. I'm going to grab this, click on place and drop it right in. And again, in the training video, I will show you that you can resize this and relocate this and move it within the frame right there. But what's really cool is, let's say I accept that and close out and choose yes. And this will update right there. Now I'm going to choose the folder here called images and do Control-T, Command-T on a Mac. And I'm going to rotate this on an angle. Maybe I want to resize this a little. Whoops, sorry about that. I want to resize the film strip. So I'm going to click and drag to resize that, reposition it where I want, and then enter on the keyboard. Now that I put that on an angle, oops, I still forgot about that one right there. Well, that doesn't matter because, again, if I double click here to open this up, and then I go over to this frame because, again, I didn't load that with an image, and I go to import the image, choose a different image, select place, and it drops it right in. Let's close out of that tab right there. And again, all this is covered in the training videos. Select yes, and that will automatically update, and it's on the angle that it's supposed to be at right there. So that is the film strip template right there. And again, total customizable just based on your vision on what you want to use this for. Always think of this as a starting point. Let's take a look at the next one, and I'm going to share a little gotcha on this. Okay, over here, I do have a couple backgrounds, but you could change the backgrounds if you wish. Same thing if I want to change it to that. And again, these are optional if you want to do the adjustment like, hey, let's make this black and white, but let my colors, images really pop right there. So again, very similar to the first template we just saw. Okay, so let's say I decided that I'm going to change the background. Well, that doesn't look really good, covering that camera right there. So if I go to the slides, and I'm going to share a gotcha now. If I do Control-T, Command-T on a Mac, and say, you know what, I'm going to move this. Maybe I want to make this a little bit smaller. And again, just readjust it. Maybe I want to place it there as an example, and then enter on my keyboard. But you know what I want to do is I want to add an extra slide or two. So I'm going to go over here to Slides, and this top slide right here, I'm going to highlight that, Control-J, Command-J on a Mac to duplicate that, grab my Move tool, click and drag, move this somewhere else, maybe Control-T, and let's rotate this on an angle, maybe something like this, and place it, say, like that. And then enter on the keyboard, and yay, I've got an extra item right there, but here's the gotcha. Well, I duplicated the images. I don't want the same image there. So easy. I go there, double click, open it up, make sure I'm on my frame right there. I can choose now replace image and import image. So I'm going to do that. How easy is that? Let's grab this one, click on place, and let's close out of that tab to update. Yes. And there's the gotcha. Well, wait a minute. What just happened to my other one? Well, when you do a normal duplicate that layer, when it's a smart object layer, they are linked together. Your concept was correct, but it didn't execute properly. So I need to undo that. So I'm just actually going to delete that right there. So here's the proper way of doing this so they're independent of each other. And that is, don't do a normal, Control-J or Command-J. What you want to do is a right mouse click. And I cover this in the training videos, by the way. So when I do that, I need to choose this, New Smart Object via Copy. Now that I have that done, and I grab my Move tool and move this somewhere else, Control-T, Command-T on a Mac, and I just want to say, let's put that at a different angle like that. And then I got to remember what image I used. And then I'm done with that. So now I do a double click on this to open up my smart object layer. Make sure I'm on here on the frame. Go to replace image. Go to the drop-down menu. Choose import. And I think I need this image. I can't remember which one I'm missing. Place. And let's update that and choose yes. And, well, you know what? I didn't pick the right image. I'm so sorry. Which one did I not do? Replace. Is it that one right there? Gosh, I can't remember. That's the problem of getting old, people. Let's see what happens now. Let's close out of that. Yes, to update that. And there you go. I did the right image there. Sorry about that. And then maybe I don't want the text there because, that doesn't make sense. Relocate it. But the point is now that the new slide I just put in there now works independent of the other three. So that's really important to know. Again, just a reminder, right mouse click. You want to choose New Smart Object via Copy. Do not do Control-J or Command-J on a Mac, because you'll have that little gotcha there. Okay, the very last thing, and let's go to this one, and that is the Polaroid one. This one's just the one background because, again, I had to do a design where I added a Polaroid camera looking down on this. And then again, if you have some adjustments here, I did this If I turn these on and off, there's a texture. It's up to you whether you want that. There's a fill color. If you want to change that, it's up to you. And then a vignette feel. So again, these are totally optional. You could add your own adjustment layers if you wish there. So you can see the difference when I turn that on and off. Okay, so again, if I go to images there, Polaroid, if I expand that, I'm missing the one over here. So very easy to do. It's right here. Double click on this. And again, I'm drawing a blank which ones I forgot. But again, the slide selected right there. Go to, the frame. Go to import image. And I can't remember which one. I'm just going to choose. Hopefully it's a different image, but you got the idea if I chose the wrong one. Close out of that, choose yes. And there we go. That's all updated. And again, these are individual, so you can move them around. You know how to do this now, right? If I want to add an extra Polaroid, you know that you do a right mouse click and you're going to choose New Smart Object via Copy to add that additional one and then move it to the location you want. Okay, so that is the 3 templates. I know some people think, oh, you're crazy. You're putting all 3 for the price of one. Yes, I want to give you some good value for supporting this channel. So again, the ones that will do this, thank you for supporting the channel. You will find this again at buymeacoffee.com. I'm going to end this by, again, just emphasizing, hey, let's think creatively out of the box with our work. And I mean literally out of the box. Until next time, see ya.